Fine Print. I'm Dion and this is Fab.
So as you guys know, we just bought a house. Right? Are you excited? So for those of you who follow us on social media, you already knew this. And thank you for all the congratulations because it was such a hard process.
Definitely a hard process.
And took a lot of determination to get us to the end goal.
All right, before we go any further, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button and make sure you like and comment on our videos.
Yeah, so you can get all the latest content when they come out. So we're just going to share, actually we're not going to share. We're going to just actually answer a couple questions that people had been asking us since we've purchased. Because we thought it would give you guys a good idea of what we went through and how the process was and how you can buy something during COVID.
Yeah, I think we definitely got a lot of questions on the house buying process, so we kind of want to give you guys a video.
I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think everybody...
I was surprised. I thought a lot of people had a lot more information than I saw.
Yeah.
I thought people had a lot more information than I was being asked. I was like, ooh, I thought you knew this. Because some of the basic stuff you can research it yourself, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's good to know somebody who went through the process, who can walk you through it and share their experience.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
So we're going to just jump right into it. What was the first thing we did when we looked into buying a home?
No, that was a tough one. I feel like...
I think you give your answer and I'll give my answer.
The first thing was trying to get everything in order as far as paperwork, making sure you have
paperwork is W-2, by the way.
Yeah, W-2s. Yeah, we gotta kind of
and your
W2,
pay stubs,
getting all that stuff ready because it's definitely gonna save you some time scrambling for it. I think that was the first thing I did when I knew that we were getting really close to not really close,
we were
really actively looking.
But we were like
really
aggressively. We were aggressively looking.
So get your paperwork in order. Definitely, you know.
For me, it was I think I looked into credit because I think a lot of people don't talk about it much because you just assume that it's not important. But I think it's very, very important to look into your credit, your debt ratio, and if there's inquiries or stuff that can be fixing it before you apply for your mortgage.
Yeah, because you definitely want to be scrambling doing that last minute.
Yeah, because we both were like, let's look into our credit. Let's see what we need to repair or fix or pay down our debt in order to get us a good interest rate. Because all these things come into play when you're signing up for your mortgage. But I think most importantly, it was more about making sure that we set up ourselves for success, and it was a smooth transition to get the process started.
Yeah, definitely.
Did you check your credit?
I mean, definitely.
Yes.
I was checking my credit way before the time because I knew that credit is very important in buying a house. Some people just think that you can just have money, you can just go to the bank and then, hey, let me get a loan. But
they're gonna give you the loan.
Yeah, having good credit and making sure you keep your increase
and having credit.
Yeah, having credit and making sure you have.
You need credit history.
Yeah, make sure you have your inquiries low because this process is very long and you're gonna be looking for
you might get several inquiries.
You're gonna be looking for different lenders and brokers, so you're gonna be having to take out a lot of inquiries on your credit. So make sure you have 0 to none.
But if you plan properly, and you can find something that you like, you start looking at the neighborhood, the location, you won't have to worry about doing multiple inquiries because you most likely can find something within your time frame, which normally when you get your pre-approval they give you about 90 days.
But COVID was very competitive, so we definitely put a lot of offers in and
a lot of people were actually looking.
Yeah, so
and I think I was more surprised about that.
Yeah, so that process, them everybody being competitive, kind of
trying to hurry up and buy something.
Yeah, it made it very difficult for you to get a house. So we ran out of pre-approvals a couple times because of that.
A few times.
Yeah.
Is how much did we put down? Are you gonna tell them?
I mean, that's the biggest question we get.
How much money you got?
We personally put 5% down.
We went with 5%. Why did we go with 5%?
I think 5% was the best option for us because our credit at the time was really good. So we didn't have to go the FHA route because that's the more popular route most people go for.
And do your homework, you guys. You can choose which direction you want to go. We just want to make it very clear that you can choose FHA if it works for you. But if you want to go conventional, you can. There's less restrictions to when you want to buy a house.
And we personally didn't want to refinance. So we were really big on doing a conventional loan because of that
PMI.
Well, we wanted to avoid having the PMI on our loan for the rest of our
duration of our loan, our mortgage, basically. So I think definitely do your research.
Yeah.
Like, don't listen to just us.
Yeah.
Like, do your research.
Ask your lender to see
broker.
what's your best option for you with your financial profile.
With your situation, yeah. Like, what works out best for you. Conventional worked out best for us, so we went that route, and then we also did the 5%. Which loan did you choose?
So we kind of like...
So some of these questions are kind of a repeat of what we were talking about before.
Yeah, so...
We went conventional, like we said, and we can just talk a little bit more about the difference between conventional and the other options.
Yeah.
Conventional, basically, you can put 3, 5, 10, or 20%. A lot of people misunderstand and think that conventional, you can only put 20% down.
Well, because of COVID, a lot of the big lenders were allowing you to
a lot
put
of big
lower
bank
down.
lenders actually switched their policy.
Yeah, to let you put a little bit less down because they wanted your business, of course.
And of course, they want people, and a lot of people weren't taking financial risk. You know, when things like a pandemic occur, people don't take financial risk.
But I want to add on to that. Definitely with the loans, look at what kind of options you have with your employer. Your employer might have a lender.
You did that too.
Yeah, because I looked into my employer. They had like a lender option for me that was gonna help me on the closing costs. And I feel like a lot of people forget about closing costs when it comes to your loan. I mean,
they think, I just gotta put this down and
yeah,
good.
your closing costs will kick you in the, you know what? And
yeah, you get last minute surprises.
Make sure you're prepared for your closing costs. It's not only about your down payment; it's also about your closing costs.
Yes,
and I can't give you a figure on what the closing cost is
because it determines on how much the house costs and
what stage you're in.
What stage it really just depends.
So
that's not something that we can talk about in depth.
Yeah.
And also like property tax comes into play. It's a lot of things that, and depending on when you're buying your house, all these things can come into play with that. So we're not gonna go.
And we're not even trying to downplay FHA. FHA may be the best.
Yeah, it might be the best option for you,
especially if you're investing or if you're really trying to get a home.
Or if you have the money and your credit is just not bomb.
Yeah, and you can always refinance.
You can always refinance and get rid of the PMI so that you can, pay off your loan faster. Yeah. But definitely do your homework, ask around. If you know a friend, anyone who purchased, just ask them what did they decide to go with and what was their story. And then, like I said, look online. Google's your best friend.
And really just go what's the best for you at the time.
I agree. What kind of house did you buy?
Well, we bought a one family because we
bought a one family.
Well, the real reason because we don't want to be no landlord.
We don't. That's the real reason. Because I'm like, don't tell no bullshit.
You don't want the headache. We don't want the headache of having to run somebody down.
Take care of
somebody for their money.
And then like being a landlord is very hard.
Yeah.
You have to supply everything. You're at a beck and call if something happens to the property.
And with COVID going on, like
it's a no.
The renters are winning right now, so we didn't.
They are winning.
We didn't want to have to get into that big mix, but really we wanted to build generational wealth for our son. Like,
something he can keep and pass on to his family if we don't know if we're having any more children, but if we have any more kids, they can just stay home and don't feel the pressure to leave, Yeah,
definitely. I think that was about our real,
But it was definitely no to the landlord thing.
Yeah, definitely not.
I don't want to have to manage people and deal with the hassle of, telling you to pay your damn rent.
Well, not to say that we won't get a two-family
in the future.
But that for our first house, we wanted this to be our house.
For now, in this current moment, you have to do what works for you. If you do think it's better for you to have the investment half, so you want to buy a two-family, go ahead and do that. If you want to buy a building, go ahead and do that. Yeah. But look at your financial situation and see what works out best for you too. What was the hardest part of buying the house process?
Wow, the hardest part
for you?
For me,
I got my own answer.
I think the hardest part definitely for me was really finding the lender you can trust, because
all sneaky.
They're very sneaky, and you really have to find a lender that you can trust.
That's why you have to know what you getting yourself into before you get yourself into that situation.
Because we were going back and forth, and the lender will tell you one thing, and then you'll see the loan estimate, and you'll be like, what are these extra charges?
And we were negotiating with 2 banks for
to get the best rate.
So we can get the best rate.
So they'll be like, yo, you can't get,
we can't go any lower than this. No one's going to give you. That's why it's important to shop around. Yeah. Shop around. Do your homework.
So when I say pre-approval, sometimes the pre-approval is really to shop around. So you may be shopping around different lenders, and they have to run your credit. So that's why I said I was really big on having the low increase, because you're going to be getting them just to get a better deal on your loan estimate.
And depending on how long it takes to close too, they can run your credit one more time just
closing,
to make sure you ain't got.
I say when you do speak to your loan lender or your broker, trying to find out how quick they're gonna close and like what's their process of closing.
What's their process?
Really be on them because they don't really care about you.
No, they don't. Everybody's kind of looking out for themselves.
It's a business,
and you're just trying to keep your head above water, to make sure you can get this house.
So what was the hardest thing for you?
I think the hardest thing for me was the stress of not knowing what was going on at times.
Yeah, she's very antsy. I had to calm her down mad times because she just.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Did you call? Like I was the one doing most of the calls, and she's on top of me.
I'm
like, yo, I spoke to them. You need to call them again. You need to make sure. You need to make sure they. I'm like, yo,
not like that. You know, men be playing games. They be playing.
We have patience.
They say they're gonna do something and they don't do it. I honestly just felt like it was very overwhelming. Like if you're working full time and you're a parent and you have a million things going on, and then having to follow up with everyone and their mother is kind of extremely hard to keep up with.
And definitely, I won't say like she was antsy for no reason because it is a big investment in your life. You're buying a property where you
and don't be afraid to like make sure you QC the people that are on your team to make sure they're there for you. They're working for you and they're doing what's in your best interest.
You can fire your real.
You keep it pushing. You
can go through them. Don't be sneaking that you have to stay with one of them. You can get rid of a new lawyer. I mean, when you're in the closing process, no. In the beginning,
but QC your team before you go any further. But the point is, I felt overwhelmed with the situation because there was a lot of back and forth between us having to call people down to get information and people dodging us, and it's like, well, we're the ones that's losing out here because we're the one that has a pending loan and has to wait on you guys to let us know what's the next step.
We want to put all that money in. We want our money. Like we want our money's worth. Like they're all getting paid off of you. That's
everybody's getting that coin, that chicken, just from you buying this house. All right. Who should be on your team?
Like,
who's the first person you should go to?
The first person I think that you should get on your side is trying to find yourself a good realtor. Yeah. Right, so most people say get a lender first. I say get the realtor because the realtor may be able to get you into the right lender. And that
they have good advice sometimes too.
Yeah, because they do. Remember, they do this for a living, so they may have somebody that's giving good rates right now, and then they may be able to plug you in with that broker, and that broker might be able to help you.
But hold on 1 second. Shout outs to our agent Luna.
Definitely, I would definitely recommend her.
Yeah. I recommend her to every one of my clients that come into my chair, just because she is so bomb, so dedicated, and she will work for you. Make sure that she locks down whatever budget or deal you say can work for you.
Yeah, Luna's real, man. She'll let you know, she let you know what it is.
We tagged her on IG, but we're gonna put her information below just in case anyone in the Brooklyn, upstate area, New York metropolitan area is looking for a home. She could definitely look into it for you.
And she definitely always picks up her phone, and she made the buying process real
very
smooth
easy.
For us. Yeah.
And we had to switch agents. Unfortunately, we did have an issue with our prior agents, and we did have to look for one that was better fit for us, right? Yeah. But I think that's definitely the first thing you should look into.
And after that, I say get a good lawyer. The lawyer is definitely gonna be the one that's gonna fight for you for the whole time. They do
the negotiating with the seller.
They're gonna be there on the closing table with you, explaining everything to you. So make sure you have a really.
But also make sure you competent, and then a lawyer who's really gonna go to bat for you.
Yeah.
No, this is what we need in order to make this process work for the buyers, and this is what can seal the deal for them. This is what they're looking for. Make sure that you're the priority of the situation. Yeah, the seller wants the money too. Let's be correct. You're not the only one trying to buy. They're trying to get rid of it.
And the lawyer gets the least out of this whole deal. Remember,
they really do.
They get the least, so they don't really have anything to win in the situation.
They
but
don't.
A referral to the next.
And that's how they make their money. A broker.
Well,
if you go with a bank.
We went through a lot, so I would say just go for somebody that's gonna definitely give you the best rate. Go for the person with the best rate.
Shop around. Please make sure you guys shop around. The last say so is not the last say so. Yeah. So someone might tell you, oh, this is the best we can do, but go find out from someone else, another bank, another lender, who can verify that that's the best they can do. Yeah. Because we definitely lucked out and was able to get a great rate because we shopped around and we did go to competitive route.
Yeah, because before we were going with more of a mortgage lender, and then we decided to go with a big bank. Decided to go with Chase to give you guys an idea who we went
Chase
with.
the real one. Shout out to the real ones.
So we went with Chase because they were able to give us credits to our closing and also be able to close on our purchase quicker than normal.
Yeah, because Chase actually has a 3-week closing program.
Yeah, right.
If you guys were in a rush and we're just trying to just get something to seal the deal, I do think it's good to like buy something right now. Yeah. The process is not any better than it was before COVID. It's actually worse. It's very, very long-winded. And you will find times where you're irritated and you're just annoyed with everything that's going on. But stand your ground when it comes to your budget, what you can afford. Mm-hmm. We both agreed that we weren't going to get a house that, God forbid, if something happened to either one of us can pay the mortgage.
Yeah, that was big for us because just in case she lost her job, I lost my job. She needs to be able to pay for the whole mortgage. I need to be able to pay for the whole mortgage.
Comfortably. And I think your parents were actually the anchors on that.
Yeah,
and definitely preached that to us, that it was important to make sure that one of us can afford it if the other one couldn't.
And that was hard to sell to Fab because Fab has very expensive taste. If you watched our previous videos,
listen, boy.
But she definitely was like, definitely on board. She's definitely on board.
I want my French doors.
So
my black
that's
kitchen.
One thing. Don't always go for the fully renovated.
So the next question: did you guys buy a newly renovated home?
Yeah.
Newly renovated?
No, we did not.
No, we did not.
We definitely did not.
We did not get a newly renovated home for a lot of reasons. The number one thing was we didn't find a home that had everything we were looking for. Mm-hmm. Be mindful of those things when you are shopping around. If you don't see what you want, every quality that you want, then be open to finding a fixer-upper where you can get the things. Don't get me wrong, not everybody has the money up front to renovate. But there's construction loans you can look into. There's personal loans you can look into if it's minor work.
There's family members you might know that might be able to want to do some construction.
Oh yeah, that. I thought he was gonna say family members give you money.
No. I'm saying you might have somebody that's handy that might be able to help you.
Yeah. Use your resources. Utilize your resources.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna really piggyback on Fab, like what she said. Don't settle. I feel like don't settle just because you need to buy a house and you want to settle on a house that you're not.
And we felt that pressure a little bit every time we did a pre-approval and it was running out. We kind of was like, oh snap.
Not even that, really.
I was like that.
There's a lot of times we put offers in
and then it didn't go well.
Not even like, yo, we never gonna find a house like this, with this potential. And we kept, a couple times we were down, like, that was a good house.
And we were kind of like down about it, but we were like, if it's right, it's right. If it's meant to be, it'll be, Do you have to have an inspection when purchasing a home? And how many inspections do you have to have?
I definitely would say get an inspection. You want to have a.
You don't have a choice. You kind of have to have an inspection.
Yeah, I think you have to have one, but definitely get one done. Even if somebody gives you the option. Not even that. There was a clause one time they told us the seller was like, we can do the inspection after the contract
has been signed.
I'm like, nah. The inspection is very important because you kind of get.
You have to know what you're getting into.
A professional.
That's the way you can negotiate your contract, is to know what's going on with the house. Yeah, does it have leaks? Is the roof good? And the inspection will let you know all that. Is there any type of like decaying? Is there any liens on the house? Is anything, no, not liens, but it can let you know if there's anything physically wrong with the house.
And then you can
talk them down.
Yep, you can negotiate that in your contract and take money off of the asking price because your inspection was done, and you can say, hey, well, my inspector seen this, so this needs to get fixed.
Here's the downside, right? So yeah, you need an inspection and you should do one. But if you gotta cash out some money, and I think we lost like about $1,500 in inspections because each inspection in New York State, I don't know about your state where you live at, but New York State, it is normally between $400 to $600. That is a normal inspection price. Depending on the area you live in, it can be higher than that. But for each home that you put an offer in, and if you move forward, you do have to do an inspection. And if it doesn't go through, you kind of lost out on that money.
Do it. Definitely do it.
And it's not a choice really, because it's for your better interest.
Get a good inspector.
And there's gonna be some loss. I know a couple people that went a couple rounds with inspections and didn't get that first home with the second home they wanted. And we were one of those people. Unfortunately.
We definitely got shut down a lot of times. The house didn't want us.
I didn't want the house anyways.
Yeah, if we look back at it, we're really happy with our choice.
Yeah, we are. And then we do have a renovation video coming up soon.
Yeah, so stay tuned on our
demo,
our home improvement series that we're gonna do in a few.
And we're excited. But ultimately, we hope this kind of gave you an idea, guys, of what you're getting into when you purchase a home, things you should look at, things you should pay attention to. We're not financial advisors. We're not, a lender, but we're just telling you our experience of what we went through. And because we had so many questions being thrown at us, we figured we'd make a video out of it. Yeah. Why not, right?
Definitely, because I feel like, our experience can maybe help
someone else. But if you do, guys, if you have any questions, drop them below, and we will catch you on the next one. Thank you for watching, guys.